I'm going to show you another advanced menu. This can aid in startups, especially for general market fryers, and this is called the filter control menu. To access filter control, you can about guess by now, we press and hold the menu button, goes into the main menu, and we want to find programming. That's step 4. And filter control is here, step 6. The filter control code is still 123. I'm not going to show you every step of filter control, but I'm just going to show you what might be critical in some startup locations. Not all. A lot of times you never have to touch this menu, but I want you to know about it just in case. And so starting with FC1, this is quick filter after. So we know by now that quick filter happens after every single drop, and that's what we're set for. Maybe we get a customer where that doesn't work so well. Who knows what they're cooking, but they want it to drop after every 2. So I could bump that up here, or every 3. Of course, I'm always going to recommend leave that on the default and try to talk the customer out of changing that. That's the way the fryer is designed to work, and it's going to work its best that way. The next step is FC2. This is quick filter drop oil. So I want to talk about this just a little bit because depending on the viscosity of oil, if the customer uses sunflower oil to vegetable oil to canola oil, sometimes the viscosity is different at 320 degrees or whatever their set point is when the oil drops. When we do a quick filter, we only want the oil to drop 1.5 inches or 2 inches below the level probe. And sometimes if the oil drops too much, it can make a quick filter take too long, or the fryer thinks, hey, the oil didn't return. Or if the viscosity is too high, let's say our level probe's here and our oil is here, so our oil drops down not enough, and then when it pumps back up, we never see a difference at our level probe. And so it continues to bubble and bubble. And so if you have really odd viscosity of your oil, sometimes you need to open the drain valve maybe a little bit more. So this fryer has a variable position drain valve that can open anywhere from 1% up to 100%. So what I'll show you here in FC2 is when we have a quick filter, the drain valve opens 100% for this amount of time, so for 5 seconds. That one you're probably okay to leave alone. We'll go to FC3. This is saying that for that drop, that initial drop, it's going to open the drain valve 100%. This one you could change. If you notice that too much oil's dropping, we could back that down. So now let's say we only want it to open 70% in this case. So that might slow the oil down from dropping. Okay, I'm going to bump that back up to 100%. Again, don't change these unless you notice an issue with that, oil dropping during a quick filtration. So that's drop oil. Go to the next one, FC4. This is quick filter time. That means we're going to actually have the drain partially open for 48 seconds. This one, normally you can leave it alone. Quick filter, we want to have the drain open during a quick filter. So this shows us that during that 48 seconds, the drain is going to be open 50%. And that means that we want to maintain an oil level, have the crumbs pumping down the drain out the bottom, but the oil level kind of maintains, once it drops, it's going to maintain a steady level. If you notice that the oil continues to drop at this point, you may want to close this drain. Or if you notice that the oil continues to build up at this point, you may want to open it some more. So you get the idea of what I can do with that percentage. All right, next step, we're going to go with a lot of these. Don't mess with them unless you call tech support, and someday we tell you to change those. I'm going to go to step 34. Step FC34 is auto mix disabled. Really try to enforce that the customer does auto mix. It's going to benefit their cleanup at the end of the night. It keeps the breading and crumbs from sticking to the bottom of the pot. But if the customer ever does want to get rid of AutoMix, this is where we can do that. You just press the plus, and now AutoMix is disabled. I'm going to leave it on. This would only be in circumstances where the customer is just fed up with AutoMix and they don't see a benefit in it. So that's what I wanted to show you in filter control. To exit out of this menu, just push and hold menu, and we exit.